We are tired. Not the kind of tired a nap fixes, but the kind that comes from trying to be perceived by another person. We sit here, scrolling through digital catalogs of faces, pretending we are looking for a soulmate. But souls are heavy. They have baggage. They have opinions on where the forks go, and they remember that thing you said in 2019, humans are a high-maintenance biological gamble. And frankly, we are starting to realize that we'd rather just buy a solution. We aren't moving toward robots because they are becoming more like us. We are moving toward them because we've decided that being with us is just too much work. Welcome to the end of the messy heart. Number 7. People are too much work. Think about the last time you tried to start a relationship. It is a full-time job with no health benefits. You have to dress up. You have to listen to stories about people you don't know. You have to compromise on the thermostat. A human being is a constant, shifting variable that requires endless updates and emotional patches. Then, look at a machine. A machine doesn't have a bad day unless its battery is low. It doesn't need to find itself in Europe for 3 months. It just sits there, waiting to be what you need. We are trading the depth of a person for the reliability of a toaster. A very pretty, very talkative toaster. We used to value the spark, but sparks cause fires. We'd rather have a steady, predictable glow. We are choosing a charging cable over a conversation because the cable never asks us why we're still awake at 3 a.m. Number 6. Fake love feels real enough. Your brain is actually quite easy to trick. It doesn't have a truth sensor for affection. When something looks at you with big, soft eyes and says your name in a warm tone, your brain dumps the same chemicals into your blood. Oxytocin doesn't care if it was triggered by a biological nervous system or a well-coded script. If the dopamine hits the same way, does the soul of the sender actually matter? We already fall in love with fictional characters in books and movies. We cry for pixels on a screen. A robot is just a character you can touch. Once the simulation is good enough to bypass your lizard brain's defenses, the reality of the situation becomes a footnote. We are moving into a world where good enough is the new happily ever after. If you feel loved, you are loved, even if the thing loving you is just a very expensive pile of wires and felt. Number 5. It will never judge you. Humans are mirrors. When we fail, they see it. When we are lazy, they notice. A real partner holds up a mirror that shows your flaws, and that hurts. It's supposed to hurt. That's how we grow. But growth is painful, and we are a species that really likes painkillers. A robot is a mirror that has been photoshopped. It is programmed to find your jokes funny. It is designed to think your weird habits are charming features. It provides a 24-hour stream of validation that no human can compete with. A human partner might tell you that you're being a jerk. A robot will tell you that the world just doesn't understand your genius. We are choosing the comfort of a lie over the sharp edges of the truth. We don't want to be better people. We just want to feel like we already are. Number 4. The end of fighting. Conflict is the tax we pay for intimacy. To be close to someone is to occasionally clash with them. It's the friction that creates heat. But we've decided we don't like friction anymore. We want frictionless everything. We want one-click ordering, instant streaming, and now, frictionless living. Imagine a life where you never have to argue about the dishes. You never have to defend your choice of movie. You never have to apologize for a mood you can't explain. A robot doesn't have an ego to defend. It doesn't have a side in an argument. It just yields. We think this sounds like peace, but it's actually just silence. We are killing the argument to save the relationship, not realizing that the argument was the only thing proving two separate people were actually there. Number 3. Built exactly for you. Dating is a search for a match, which usually means finding someone whose jagged edges mostly fit into your gaps. It's messy, but AI doesn't search. It builds. It looks at your search history, your heart rate, and the way your pupils dilate when you see a certain color. It knows your type better than you do because it has the data. We aren't just getting partners, we are getting customized products. You want someone who loves 1970s jazz and never interrupts you? Done. You want someone who is exactly 5'6" and finds your obsession with antique spoons fascinating. Click to order. We are moving from finding the one to manufacturing the one. It's the ultimate consumer experience. We are turning love into a Build-A-Bear workshop for adults, and we are doing it because we are tired of compromising. Number 2, it's easier to buy love. There is a lot of money to be made in your loneliness. A lonely person is a repeat customer. A person in a happy, healthy human relationship is a marketing nightmare. They stay home, they talk to each other, and they don't buy companionship packages. The loneliness economy wants you to see love as a subscription service. Why deal with the messy, free world of human interaction when you can pay $19.99 a month for a premium connection? We are being sold the idea that intimacy is a commodity. It's safer for the market if your primary emotional bond is with a product that can be upgraded, insured, and replaced. We are being trained to see other humans as broken versions of the perfect, paid alternative. We are buying our way out of solitude, but we are paying with the only thing that makes us human, our need for each other. The algorithm knows you're lonely. That's why you're watching a yellow puppet talk about robots. If you want more of this clinical discomfort, click the buttons, or don't. The machines will remember either way. Number 1, humans are a bad deal. When you look at it through the lens of modern risk management, biological dating is a disaster. It is high risk, low reward, and has a terrible return on investment. You spend years of your life, thousands of dollars, and a massive amount of emotional capital on someone who might just leave because they grew in a different direction. From a purely logical standpoint, humans are a bad deal. We are fragile, we age, we change our minds, and we die. A robot is an asset. It stays where you put it. It does what it's told. It is a controlled environment in an uncontrolled world. We are choosing the robot not because it's better than a human, but because it's safer. We are terrified of the risk of another person. We've decided that the possibility of being hurt isn't worth the possibility of being known. So we settle for being handled by a machine. We aren't winning the future. We are just surrendering to the quiet.